we'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We are at EagleBay Outfitters, and we're going on an airboat ride today.
And it's going to be my first time.
Tom's first.
Me too.
And my mom's first. So this is a big day for the guys. And we want to start introducing you to more South Florida activities, outdoor activities and things that we do, we've done growing up. And when I say we, I mean me. Again, they're first. But they've got a really cool property. It's on the rim canal of Lake Okeechobee. And they actually have a pin with a sulcata tortoise. So let's go check out Fred. You okay? What is it? No?
Oh boy, he's really quiet.
Yeah, he's not wanting to do too much of anything. Okay. He may have eaten a lot before, so we're just gonna leave this here for him. Got a little misalignment on his jaw.
Come on, Fred. Fred. He's closing his eyes.
Yeah. It is still a cooler morning, so he's not warmed up.
Hey.
He is
He's,
enjoying being pet by my mom.
yeah, he's just stretched out. Look at his legs out flat.
Tom, can you see the misalignment on his jaw? Maybe some of our viewers will know what's actually going on with his jaw. Is that common, or did he have an injury that his jaw is that misaligned? I haven't seen that before. He is sprawled out to get sun, so he's waiting to warm up.
Did you see this hole that he has?
Yeah. Well, he's got a beautiful area to sun himself. Well, let's head back up. They have an alligator named Duchess in an enclosure for us to look at. So over here we have Duchess. She's a 15-year-old American alligator. Sorry, I have the sun right in my eye. It's making me squint. They started her off in an aquarium inside and then moved her out here to this larger enclosure. And like we said, she's 15 years old and she's only 4.5 foot long. It's kind of stunted her growth being in a smaller enclosure, but she is pretty. She's looking for her next meal. It's a very pretty enclosure.
This is a good view here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. That's a better angle. I'm sure we'll be seeing some of those today in the wild. It's a nice enclosure. Okay, we are here with Captain Denise, and you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and the tour that we're going on?
Absolutely. So I'm Denise. I'm born and raised here in South Florida, and we are with EagleBay Airboat Rides. We do a fun eco tour, so even though we are looking for alligators, I like to give you insight of my version of Florida. The history and sightseeing is also awesome around here.
Should be fun. Let's go.
the area. They take the water, they clean and filter it through different retention ponds and about 40 acres of marsh.
Is that Taylor Creek Slough? What's the name of the natural area that's...
There's two sections. There's one in Taylor Creek, that's north of town, and this one feeds into Limpkin Creek, and that's what we're on now.
Okay.
So all this water comes from the city, all the retention ponds and the runoff from the city mixes in with the county ditches, which holds all the water, and then it'll come through retention ponds and marshlands.
Okay.
So as it comes through, it'll be clean, filtered, and aerated, and that is why we can see down to the bottom.
And a limpkin is the bird who eats the apple snails.
Absolutely.
Specializes in eating those snails.
Yes. Sounds
Right.
like a girl screaming.
I saw some nice bass right when we came right through there.
We are the bass capital of the world. So we got a lot of babies backing through here. You can see them.
See some little ones.
But we also have some large ones too. So we're the largemouth bass is what we're known for. We also have specks. We have crappie, or specks and crappies are the same. Everything is named twice.
Yeah.
We have bluegills. We have catfish, armor catfish. Some non-natives are the mine cichlids that we have, the peacock bass.
Looking at two right there.
Yep.
Lions.
And the tilapia. So, quite the array of fish. All right, fun facts for Florida. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so the plant that's behind you that looks really sad, standing nice and tall, that is called catskin willow. That particular plant has the same compound found in aspirin, which is the salicylic acid, so it is a medicine tree. The most common willow plant is a weeping willow, but they all have the salicylic acid in them, so when you go to a homeopathic store, it's just called willow bark.
Okay.
Fun tree number 2 in our area is Florida state tree, which is the sable palm or the cabbage palm. We are the only state that eats their state tree. So down here we call it swamp cabbage. It sounds scary, but it tastes delicious.
It is delicious.
But more fancy, more common term is hearts of palm on salads. Comes in a jar.
Yeah.
That's the same tree, just prepared different ways.
Where is the Swamp Cabbage Festival? That's Naples area?
LaBelle.
LaBelle.
And it's the last weekend in February.
We need to go.
Yes,
We need to
absolutely.
go to
It's
it.
one of my favorite festivals. During that time, we kind of get pulled in 2 different places because the last weekend of February for Okeechobee, we do the battle reenactment of the Battle of Okeechobee.
Okay.
Against Zachary Taylor and Chief Osceola, the Seminole tribe that was here in Florida. So that's also a fun event as far as history and the way Florida is the way it is. Little bump.
We have some distant relation to that tribe.
Do you?
Yeah.
Makes their cheekies. They use the pond fronds because it has a wax, it has a buildup, so that's what they thatch their roofs with. Later on, when cowboys became known in Florida, we call it the boot of the tree, but they would use it as a shoehorn to take off their boots.
Ah, okay. Now, the rest of the world's not going to know what a cheeky hut is, but I mean, that's their native living structure with the thatching being that. But every tiki bar that we go to in Florida is made by the Miccosukee Indians, most everyone, who are the Native Americans of this area that build the cheeky huts. So they don't even need to pull permits to build those structures.
If it's done by a native, it's not a tiki, it's a cheeky.
Cheeky.
But if you're doing it in your own backyard, that is a tiki, and it's same but different. Yes, there's a fine line, but they don't have to have permits because they're building their native structures.
But commonology, I mean, if you go to a tiki bar, a lot of times it's a cheeky hut made by the Miccosukees.
Or the Seminoles.
Okay.
Yeah, we have two tribes here, the Seminoles and the Miccosukees. Fun fact about the Seminoles, they're the only tribe that never signed the peace treaty. So they are their own sovereign nation.
That's why we get all those sweet casinos.
Absolutely. They don't get none of my money, but they get a lot of my friends' money.
All right, off camera.
We do not consume or use over 60% of what we can produce. We ship it out of state. And livestock is no different. Cows were actually in the state of Florida before settlers, thanks to Ponce de Leon and the conquistadors. Later on, cowboys became cow hunters, and they would herd up those cows and they would sell them off. They would use a whip to scare them out of the brush and to move them, and the cracking of the whip gave the cow and the cowboy the cracker name, so that's where we get the term Florida cracker from.
There was a movie about that.
Was there?
Yeah. Crackers.
It's
all about that.
I'll have to look that one up. There's a book called A Land Remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is where this book comes to life for me. We are so large in the ag, especially the cattle industry. We're like top, I think we're top 10 now. But what sets us so high is we can have more cows per acre. We don't have a harsh winter, and we can have calving season all year round. So we produce them, the northern states will buy them, we feed them grain and corn, and then we'll buy them back. So we're just a great breeding ground for cattle.
Because our grass grows so stinking fast. I talk about that on the channel. Like, I could cut my grass every 4 days in the rainy season. It's slowing down now, but it's wild how fast it grows.
Absolutely.
How rich the soil is from all this hundreds of years of these plants and all this vegetation breaking down and stuff. Like Tom, you mentioned the bubbles coming up. That's all rotting plant vegetation that just makes the most amazing soil.
Absolutely. Everything flows south except for the St. Johns River. So back before the levee was completed, everything kind of just moved its way south, and once they completed the levee, down south is where you'll find your super rich soil that you can grow anything, and that's where the sugar cane is. That's where we have the tomatoes and the corn and everything south of the lake, because all the nutrients that the lake provided is just accumulated there and in the ground. It's amazing. I can't grow anything to save my life, but you take a bucket of that dirt and you can grow amazing gardens. It's amazing.
I was noticing on the way up, we're trying to see alligators or turtles, and you can see the ripples disappearing on the surface of the water as we turn the corner, and that could be an alligator submerging. We did see one nice alligator crossing the canal in front of us, but you can see the signs if you pay attention of the wildlife. But a non-native plant, the Brazilian pepper, which has the tricolor peppercorns, is just growing like wildfire all across Florida, and it's created a habitat that wasn't there before, and the trees grow over the water and all their branches, and it creates an ideal place for these alligators and turtles to hide as we're going by, and you can never see them. Otherwise, that there isn't a plant that really does that, that's native to us. So makes it harder to spot what we're looking for.
Absolutely. Great hiding spots for these guys.
And the tree behind her, that's the cypress tree that we always talk about, with the cypress knees sticking up so the tree can breathe. The tree can live in full submerged water, and it gets its air to its roots through the knees that pop up through the surface.
Amazing trees. They are one of the few trees in Florida that does go dormant, so don't be like, oh, they're all dead. No, this is the time of the leaves, the change. We do have a fall like the northern states, just very few trees participate. This is one of them. So
we talked about that at Carl's house, how he has them all around his reptile enclosures, and ideally in the winter where we need more sun for our reptiles, keeping them captive, the tree is going to lose all of its leaves and create that additional sun exposure that the animals are going to need. But in the summertime, when they need a little relief from the sun, then the tree, it's a perfect tree around your enclosures. It really is.
absolutely. You ready for some more?
Absolutely.
Okay. I thought you did the stop sign.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, it was like, I hope
okay.
Tom got that.
Oh,
I
thought
apologize.
This was stop. My bad. My bad.
I was hoping Tom got the
Oh,
shot
yeah.
of that little gator.
Okay.
Hey, I was filming. I'll try my best to crop and enhance.
Okay. Well, in this area, this is where I usually look for baby gators or smaller gators because it's so ideal with the high vegetation that helps protect them from the large birds and shallow water from the large fish. So this is generally where the nesting areas are. So this is what I call my baby bay area. So
And you say from the fish, what was it? A bass and mudfish?
we have largemouth bass.
Yeah.
And I think the record size for that is like 17 pounds. So they get to be really huge, and baby alligators are itty bitty. So the fish do eat alligators, the big enough ones. And then we have a lot of snakes back and through here as well. So
Do you know what kind of snakes we have in here?
in our area, it's a lot of water moccasins, cottonmouths, copperheads. On land, we do have diamondbacks here. They like the palmetto bushes areas a lot. I am told that we will not see the pythons this far north, but they do have them really in the Everglades area. Those are not native to us. Again, what I'm told is the northern end of the lake gets too cold for them, so we probably won't see them.
We're not into the python garbage.
I'm not into snakes. Okay, I like.
But we also have a whole bunch of water snake species.
We do. The banded water snakes.
Green water snakes. They look a lot like the cottonmouth to an untrained eye if you see one. And that's the really sad thing, is a lot of them get killed by people when they think, they just see it and they're like, cottonmouth, and they cut in half with a shovel.
I'm a just you stay over there and I stay over here kind of person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but we have a lot of like you said, non-venomous ones. The chicken snakes or the corn snakes are my kids' favorites. They like to bring them in the houses. being a boy mom, let me tell you. So yeah. Just a looking.
And what time would you see? I mean, we could see a gator nest possibly. Obviously, it's not nesting season, but are there any nests that you know of nearby or areas that they nest?
This whole, like I said, this whole little region area that I'm going slow in because it's super shallow, this is all to the right of us and through the willow plants. That is usually the nesting area. Once the water gets a little bit lower and it gets a little bit colder, then they'll start, it kind of draws them out to be more in the open of the sun versus hidden in the vegetation.
Yes. Okay.
So.
It's beautiful out here.
It is.
And the sun feels good.
I know. I don't do winter.
Me neither.
Yeah. Nope.
But fun facts about this area, we are sitting on the bottom. The water is only a couple inches deep, maybe a half a foot of muck below us. Out in front of us, next to the hill, it's going to drop down to be about 20-25 foot deep because that is where they dredge the material to make the levee. The levee goes all the way around the lake, which is about 143 miles at 30 foot tall. And the reason why we have it is because of the hurricane of 1928. It devastated Florida, it killed thousands of people. President Hoover planned and orchestrated this for protection. The lake on the other side is 40 miles wide, 60 miles long, making us the second largest natural freshwater lake within the United States. We are second to Lake Michigan.
Is the rim canal continuous?
It is.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to see me kayak around the lake?
Have fun with that. You can hike, bike, trail large portions of the levee. It's all nice and paved. Anything but a motorized vehicle is allowed up there. So you'll have stopping points around locks and of course the river, but then you can get back on and go all the way around.
Okay. Awesome. So we just spent an hour on this airboat and we skip right over the fact that to us it's more normal because we've grown up seeing airboats. For some of you guys living in a different country or some other part of the United States, this is totally foreign to you. The whole idea of a boat that's got an airplane prop propelling it over the surface of the water is pretty wild and unique to southeastern United States. Or do they use airboats? Actually, I did see airboats in Guyana when I was just there, but probably started here and people have taken them over there.
I've also learned that they use them up north to move the cabins over the ice when they're ice fishing.
Over ice.
Yes, so they have a different bottom as far as how it's fortified, but yeah, I think they started off here, but everybody's kind of adapted to them. So it's a regular car motor. This is a 350 motor, flat bottom boat. So everything that we went over, we're not damaging at all because the prop is in the boat with me. So we push everything down for a second and then it pops right back and it grows. So no damaging of anything. Anything that leaks or spills, it's all in the boat. It's not leaking into our ecosystem at all either. Just throttle makes you go forward. There's no brakes, no reverse, and then this will control your letters. rudders are from left and
So
right.
it's one stick, not dual sticks like a riding lawnmower or a turn mower. One stick.
Correct. And yeah, so left and right is all you have, and forward, and then your gas pedal. So
And then so the power is foot controlled,
correct.
like a car.
So what's the learning curve? How long does it take somebody to learn how to operate one of these?
Okay, so for me, growing up in Florida, we're all things motor, water vessels. So a Sea-Doo or a jet ski has the same feel. So you really don't have control unless you have some kind of accelerator going forward, and that's the same thing with the Sea-Doo. So for me, it didn't take very long to differentiate the two because I grew up doing it, but it feels the same as that. The only thing is when you drive this every day and then you go to an ocean boat and you run over things, you get yelled at.
Yes, right. You can't run over islands when you're in a normal boat.
No, or the big chunks of seaweed or whatever. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna cut it short because her next group of people are here waiting, and they paid good money to go out today. So we're gonna do an outro over there. We can't thank you enough. It was amazing,
you guys.
very knowledgeable. We had a great time.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you for joining us, and hope to see you guys soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll do another outro, Tom.
Yes, that is.
It's actually out of the water. Funny how good they can hide. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.